Well, hello everybody. Haven't really been doing any videos lately because I'm trying to recuperate from a long Halloween season. Check this out. Is this not cool or what? Look at this. That is really cool. And you open that up and there's an Elvira inside. Whoops, hold on. See, she's got Christmas, and she got like a thing to make cookies, and she got her recipe. No, she got her names of naughty and nice. Isn't that cool? And check these out. I want to show you these over here. Look at this. Look at that. Look at these things. Is that cool or what? Now, we just got those in. We also got these Coraline dolls. And here's the thing. We've got a lot of work to do in the darkness. All of these things are full of retail stuff. All of that. There's a ton more downstairs. It's just maddening. It's absolutely maddening. Now, we just got these in, and we got these Captain Spauldings in, and then you see this Beetlejuice right here, and then we got this one. These are all new. And then you got these like Michael Myers ones down here. So we've been getting a lot of stuff in lately, and we have a lot of things to talk about today. And so the title of this video is that I have bad news. I have really bad news. So here's the bad news, and then we're going to talk about the good news. Okay, so there's bad news and there's good news. Okay, so let's start with the bad news, because that's probably why you're watching this video, because you're like, what is the bad news? Everybody loves bad news. Now, I can tell you what's not bad news is that Donald Trump won the presidency, and I am stoked about that. Okay, absolutely stoked. And I have been watching on Facebook, and I'm not normally on Facebook, I'll be honest with you. And I just talked to somebody tonight who said, did you see this video that I sent you? And I'm like, what video? And they show it to me, and I'm like, no, I never seen that video. Well, I instant messaged it to you. I'm like, well, I don't really look. Okay, but I was on Facebook quite a bit during the Halloween season because, you know, I'm updating my own pages. You know, I have 4 of them, actually 5 when you count St. Louis Escape. I have one for Creepy World, one for Darkness Lamp, one for Scarefest, and one for St. Louis Escape. So, and I have more pages than this. I have a Blacklight Attractions page. I have a page for the Darkness Haunt Tour. So there's multiple pages, okay? And so and then we also have the Hauntworld Facebook page, which has 600,000 followers. There's lots of pages out there. So I'm literally updating these pages, and all Halloween, everything was about the election. Everything. And it was like so much misinformation, so much just flat out lies. And what really bothered me more than anything was when they started comparing Trump and technically his followers to fascists. I was like, this is just vile, wrong, and completely false. But now, what's really crazy is everybody's on Facebook literally saying, oh, I'm going to lose my rights. I've actually seen people say they're going to leave the country. You know, it's just crazy. So, anyway, so yes, I am very happy that Donald Trump won. I'm happy for the whole country, to be honest with you, because hopefully we can end these wars. I am not for war, okay? So I don't think war should ever be fought at all. I wish that people could get together, sit down and work their problems out without without shooting each other and firing missiles all over the place. You got wars going on in the Middle East. You got wars going on in Ukraine. Now North Korea just sent troops to Ukraine. I mean, this is just out of hand. It's just out of hand. So I'm hoping that we can get all these things ended. And I'm hoping also, because I have a business, I'm hoping that the economy will get better. And I'm hoping that inflation comes down. And I'm hoping people can afford to buy, things that they need, afford to buy a home or be able to pay their rent. Okay, energy costs get lowered. I mean, these are the things that matter to me. Okay, all the personal stuff, that doesn't mean anything to me. So with all that being said, I have bad news and I have good news. Look at that light. Look at that. Look, it's making me look like I'm godlike. Ah! I have a halo around me. Hold on, this is not a good spot. So, anyway, I just want to throw this out there too, that I'm the kind of person that will always tell you what I think. I am also a person who's not a brainwashed person, okay? And I just want to say this is so off the topic, but I want to tell you my political position. I really kind of sort of consider myself an independent, and I could never be anything but an independent, because I think for myself. I don't watch the fake news, and I don't believe everything these wackos say on the news. And I'm the kind of person that does a lot of research. So if I saw a movie, which I did, about Elvis, I literally go to the internet and I start trying to find out what's true and what's not true about a movie. I don't know, it's like an obsession of mine. Probably one of the most gross, so off the rails movie was the Freddie Mercury movie. It was so grossly inaccurate. If you actually think everything happened the way it did in the movie, you are absolutely, delusional. The movie couldn't have been more than 35% accurate. So, but I think a lot of people, they watch a movie or they watch the news or they read something that somebody said, and it's true. It's absolutely true. Well, I don't believe that. So that's why I'm an independent. I think for myself. I'm definitely not brainwashed. No one could ever brainwash me, okay? My next door neighbor, this is a true story, across the street, you know what she does for a living? She hypnotizes people. And she hypnotizes people, then, tries to get them to, lose weight, for example. And I said, I would love for you to try to hypnotize me, because it won't work. I promise you that she cannot hypnotize me. And I told her if she could hypnotize me, I would give her $10,000 if she could prove that she could hypnotize me, because it's not possible. There's no way in hell that I can be hypnotized. My brain could not be hypnotized. I have a brain that literally, the best way to describe it is it's like an Indianapolis 500 race. It just keeps racing around 24 hours a day, and it never stops. So it takes me a long time to, calm down, settle down, so I can sleep. Okay, I find it really hard to sleep because my brain is always going 100 miles an hour. But I just want to throw it out there because I think that some people think that I'm some radical, right Republican. I'm not. I'm sorry, but I have common sense and I do research, and I can tell you almost everything you read on Facebook is 1000% false. These people have done no research. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just making comments based on how they feel. And I don't necessarily make comments about how I feel most of the time. I make comments based on what I know or what I've read and researched thoroughly. And I love to be proven wrong, and because I like learning new things. So anyway, not trying to get into all of that. I just wanted to tell you how I think about issues. I take one issue at a time. Every issue has a pro and a con. And in the haunted house industry, everything you do has a pro and a con. So you could do one thing and you'll find that you've made one thing better, but you made something else worse. There's probably almost nothing in my entire life that I haven't done where you tried something different and there was some pros and there was some cons. I'll give you an example. If you do time ticketing, as an example, there's pros and there's cons. The pro is that you kind of like control a lot better the when everybody shows up, and that's a pro. There's a serious con though. You're not like an NFL football game. The NFL football game is only going to happen once a week. It's going to be at this time. The game's going to start and it's going to end at a certain time. A haunted house is like a take it or leave it kind of thing. I don't know if I'm sure I want to go. I'm not positive. Maybe I'll come back and buy a ticket when I know for sure who's going with me and what time. And they abandon the cart. You will have less abandoned carts if you are not doing time ticketing. That's just a fact, okay? When you say you can buy a ticket right now and go at any time, you're going to have less abandoned carts than if you said, no, you have to pick a time and a date, and by the way, there's no refunds, okay? So, but would one work the same? There's only one way to find out. You do it, and then you're doing it, and then you learn, well, I wish I wouldn't have done it. But there was some pros to it, and there was some cons, okay? Does that make sense to you guys? So I like to, when I talk to people and I try to give you good advice and try to help you, I'm trying to talk layman and I'm trying to talk common sense. And so I am literally trying to help you as best that I can. So with that being said, I have bad news and I have good news. The bad news first. I so desperately wanted to open Creepy World for Transworld, and we have decided that we cannot do that. There's a lot of reasons why, okay? And it's not just the obvious ones. The obvious reason why we've never opened Creepy World is because it's about a 90% outdoor haunt, okay? So that means you would either have to leave the props out or you would have to try to put them away and put them back in the winter when the weather is unpredictable and it's cold. But one of the main reasons why we cannot open Creepy World this year, there's actually a couple. The first is that when I was talking about opening Creepy World, I was not aware of when Transworld was taking place. So I'm used to Transworld typically being like in the middle of March-ish. And I know there's been a couple times where it's been in February, but I just assumed that it was in the middle of March. The middle of March is not bad because typically in March, it's a little warmer in St. Louis. In other words, typically in March, it's going to be 50 to 70 degrees. In February, it could be below zero. Now, that's not to say in March it can't snow or it can't get really cold, because it can. Just typically it's not. So if you're a gambling person, you have to ask yourself, are the odds in my favor or against me? So opening Creepy World in February, because I didn't realize that Transworld is in February. So, and I think there's a day or two in March maybe or whatever, but it's literally at the tail end of February. So that means that wouldn't give you no time at all if it's below 0 in February to try to get it ready to go. But we wanted to try to shut it down in a way that we could reopen it easily, okay? And that was still an outside chance, a hope. I talked to the fire department. I talked to everybody about opening it for that event. And it wasn't like a no. It wasn't, clearly yes. But at the end of the day, what happened literally 4 days, 2, 3, 4 days after we closed for the Halloween season, there was this horrific rain that came through. Horrific. And Creepy World got put 3 feet underwater again. It didn't do a ton of damage. I mean, it did some. There's a lot of debris here and there. I think one wall fell down, and there was like a lot of gravel got moved around. To fix it would take approximately like a week. So it's not a huge deal because I can keep working on it. So here in St. Louis today, it's actually, it was 60 degrees today. So it was really nice. Now maybe it was 50. It's 50 to 60, something like that. And so, yeah, it could definitely be done. Okay. But I don't want to take a chance opening Creepy World in the dead of winter. Like I could literally open it and it could snow. I could literally open it and it could be 0 degrees. That's not fun for anyone. So, as far as opening Creepy World, let me tell you, the main reason why I wanted to do it was because Creepy World is awesome, okay? And I was telling people, a lot of people, that you should come see Creepy World because it is absolutely fantastic this year. I think... I don't know. I mean, like if I say this, somebody will say, oh, sure you do. Of course you do. Everything you do is great. No, but I actually think, realistically, Creepy World is probably one of the 10 best haunts in the country. It has to be. It just has to be. And you wouldn't know that unless you experienced it. Now, we did have a lot of haunted house owners come to Creepy World this year, and every one of them told me, Creepy World's better than the darkness. Holy cow, this thing is so cool. I had people come and tell me, this is literally the best haunted house we've ever seen. I had people tell me, like, wow, this is one of my new favorites. And just a few years ago, some guy, I don't know who it is, but he goes around and he does reviews of haunts. He literally said Creepy World was his favorite haunted house he had seen in the country. And I'm not like saying all this to brag. I'm saying this because Creepy World is better than the darkness, okay? And no one believes it. And I understand why they don't believe it, because they come to the darkness and they say, wow, the darkness is really good, but Creepy World's better. And I've said this so many times, nobody believes me. But it takes a lot of effort and work to get Creepy World to a point where it looks like it actually is. So in other words, I could take you to Creepy World today and walk you through it, and you would be like, get the hell out of here. You're on crack, okay? And I'd be like, yeah, I agree. I'm on crack, because right now it does not look like it's one of the best haunts. It's one of those haunts where if you walk through it during the day, it's not quite as, you don't get it until the lights go, until you're looking at the sun or the stars and the moon and all the lights and all the sound, and then you have to put the actors in. It's very much an actor show, okay? So if you like Hell's Gate, you would like Creepy World. Because in my opinion, Hell's Gate is very much an actor-driven show. Creepy World is very much an actor-driven show as well. So with that being said, I did go to Hell's Gate this year, and it was fantastic. And I would say Hell's Gate is one of the 5 best haunted houses that I've personally seen. 5 best. One of the 5 best. And one of these days, I'm going to put out a list of the best haunts that I have literally seen myself. And if I did that off the top of my head right now, I probably would offend some people because I would forget something. But I can tell you right now, off the top of my head, it would be Haunted Overload, Dent Schoolhouse, which I did not actually see with actors. So seeing it with actors could bring it lower, could bring it higher. You never know. But I would definitely say Dent Schoolhouse is one of the 5 best haunts that I've seen. Hell's Gate, Haunted Overload, Field of Screams. 13th Gate. Off the top of my head, those would be the 5 best, I think, that I've seen. Now, I'll tell you another one that I really like is Massacre in Chicago. I really like that one. Although I did not see that one with actors either. So, I don't know. But it's really good. And I went and seen a lot of great haunts this year, but I didn't see them with actors. So actors makes all the difference. So if I took you through Creepy World with no actors, you don't know. You just don't know. But then you add the actors and you go, yep. And it's very much an actor-driven show. So with that being said, I cannot open Creepy World. That's the bad news. It's just too risky. It's too risky. But I want to let you guys know that I 100% want to open Creepy World. I really do. Because I want people to see it. Okay? Because it's not going to be there forever. There's no way. I'm actually looking at this very moment for land. To buy land where I can build buildings on it and literally put something in completely permanent where there's no flooding. Okay, I am prepared to spend $4 million building this attraction. So I am looking to build brand new in a new location, Creepy World, that is going to be monumental, and I will be I promise you, hiring everybody under the sun. But with all that being said, that's the bad news. Okay. And I know that you probably are saying to yourself, no, we expected that. No, I really did want to open it. And that's all we talked about all Halloween season was how could we close it? How can we do this? How can we do that? I literally talked to everyone, the fire department, the building division. I talked to everybody. But I should have seen when the show was. And it's just a bad idea. Now, if Transworld gets back to being in March, that would change things drastically for me. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, here's the good news. And I want to give you an update on what I am willing or can do. And that is open in the darkness. And you're probably saying, well, haven't you done that now 5,000 times? Well, that is true. I have. And every year that I open it, I always say the same thing. I don't want to open it if it's just for the sake of opening it. I really don't care to open it unless I have something cool to show. This is the exact reason why I really want to open Creepy World. I want to open it so you can see it. But I don't want to open it if you're not going to see it the way it's intended to be seen. That's why I was encouraging people to come to St. Louis this October so they could see it for themselves. But with that being said, here's the big news. So we need to sell TerraVisions. So I know I've made some videos before about selling TerraVisions. I'm really poor about responding to people. And I am going to the IAPA show later this week. So I really need to get TerraVision sold. So if you are interested in it, I really need you to reach out to me, send me a text. You can get my phone number off of blacklightattractions.com, and you can send me a text. Let me know you're interested in TerraVisions. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. So, we're gonna do the best haunt tour, if we get it done, that we've ever done. And we're gonna document all of it right here on the Hauntworld channel. So make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, because I'm gonna teach you how to build a haunted house from scratch. Absolutely from scratch. Okay? And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do that by removing TerraVisions and replacing it in like 6 weeks. It seems impossible, I know, but it's not. And I'm going to document every single step of the way. I'm going to show you how I'm going to build this haunted house. You're going to see every step of the way. I actually made another video that's on this channel because it was made to sell. It was how to build a haunted house from scratch. And I can tell you that I have gotten a lot of great feedback on that video. A lot of people have emailed me, called me, thanked me for that video. They said it's so great. They love the video because, you know, it literally shows you from start to finish. But this one is going to be a little bit different. So, if I was building a haunted house for, say, Six Flags, the haunt that I'm going to build would be very similar to that, because I don't have a lot of time otherwise to do it. I don't, like when you look at some of the scenes in the darkness, like we worked on a very small section and we spent more time building that than we're going to spend building an entire haunted house. So you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, he's absolutely crazy. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see. We'll see if I can pull it off. I can tell you this. I am not going to be able to pull it off if I'm building a bunch of mini golfs. I won't be able to pull it off if I'm sitting at home with my feet kicked up watching movies or playing around on my computer or going to sports games. I'm going to have to come here and crank on this thing. I'm going to have to head this up, and you know, I've got a plan. I've got a plan. And I'm making another video, and that's going to be right behind this one. And the next video is going to be all about the plan on how to renovate the darkness. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. So you could consider this video coming up as the first video in building a haunted house from scratch. So when I built that zombie themed haunted house, which I made a video of, that video is, I don't even know. That video is like 6-7 years old. Oh yeah, yeah, I guess about 7 years old. So now we're gonna make a video 7 years later, and it's not gonna be one video. It's probably gonna be about 20. And so you can follow this channel all Halloween. Well, I shouldn't say Halloween show, but you can watch every minute between now and the Halloween show is what I meant to say, and see how we get it done. Now here's the funny part. I want to do some other scenes in the darkness itself, like downstairs. I wanted to do a big scene, but I don't know if I'll have time if I'm tearing out TerraVisions and starting from scratch. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be actually really hard, and it's not going to be something that anybody can do, because I know that some people out there that are starting from scratch, they build a haunted house and it literally takes them an entire year to get it done. I'm going to get it done in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Do you think it's possible? Leave a comment below and let me know. Now, do you know anyone in the haunted house industry besides me that would even try something so crazy? And why is it crazy? It's crazy because the darkness ends at our sewer section, and then it picks up at TerraVision's, and then it dumps out into this retail area with this little museum. And there won't be that connection anymore. And we're opening for Krampus. We're opening for My Bloody Valentine. And now we're saying we're going to open for Transworld. That would be pretty embarrassing to not have it done, right? So we've got to get on the stick and make it happen fast. So there will be a part 2 to this video where I'm going to kind of lay out the plan, and I'm going to talk about TerraVisions in detail, and I'm going to walk through TerraVisions, and it's going to be all about we need to sell TerraVisions to get the ball rolling. But now, even though I've made some other videos about it, but now I know exactly what I'm doing. So when I give you the information this time around, it's going to be the final information, and we've got to get TerraVision sold. I'm going to have to respond to people, but the one thing I ask you is not to instant message me, okay? I don't really look at that, and I'm sorry that I started the whole video off talking about the meltdown, the mental meltdown that's going on right now on Facebook because of the election, because it's a mental meltdown. It's actually it's a legendary meltdown, and the only reason why I started talking about it was because essentially what I was trying to say was that I am almost never on Facebook, although I have been lately, but I don't check messages there, okay? So what I would prefer, if you went to Blacklight Attractions, got my phone number, got my email right off of our website for that page, and text me. And just text me and say, I'm interested in buying TerraVisions, okay? So I'm gonna make another video, and I'm gonna go into detail of exactly how this would work. And I'm gonna lay out the complete plan for TerraVisions. But with that being said, I just wanna tell you that a little bit about the Darkness Haunt Tour that I'm thinking about doing. So, we would do a behind the scenes tour on Thursday. And this is what we're planning. A behind the scenes tour on Thursday. It would overlap with the show. Because it has to. Because you don't have to do them all, but you can. So we'll start at the Lemp, and it'll probably kick off around 4:30, something like that. And from 4:30 to 5:30, if you show up there, you can go through the Lemp, and you can walk through it with the lights on, with the show lights, with no fog. Then, starting around 5:30 to 6:30, you will be able to go to our escape rooms, and we have 7 currently, but by Transworld we should have 8, with 2 that are brand new. One would be the Alien, and one would be a new mystery theme that's going to replace Frankenstein. You can play our mini golf. I'll put all the pinballs on free play, but I'm sure that what you're more interested in is going around through the escape rooms, especially if you're in the business or thinking about getting the business. So it's going to be a behind the scenes tour of the escape rooms. Then we'll go downstairs, and then that would be starting at 6:30, and then we would have a Q&A where you could ask questions about the haunts, the escape rooms, or whatever. And I have been having a special guest, so I'll have a special guest for that. and we'll answer all of your questions and all of this. And then starting around 7:30, we'll put people into the darkness. So you'll be able to do the seminar, do the escape rooms, do LEMP, do darkness, and then we're planning on providing food as well. So you don't have to worry about, you know, being hungry through this long process. So that's the plan. That's the plan. And then on Friday, we would open the LEMP, the new LEMP, because we're going to try to fix it all up on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we will open the darkness, and we are going to make an effort to get the best haunt actors from Darkness, LEMP, and Creepy World all to be here for that. And you will get to experience the new darkness. And then maybe in 2026, if Transworld's even still here in St. Louis, you never know what their plans are. If the show is in the middle of March, we'll try to open Creepy World. That's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. But I will tell you that my bigger plan overall is to move Creepy World. Totally. And I'm literally engaged with some banks. I haven't really started looking for the property the way I need to, but I will after I get back from IAPA after Thanksgiving. That's what I'm going to be focused on. And then I can promise you for sure, if I ever get that open, that we will 100% open for Transworld. Because the plan there is I would buy the land, and I'm looking for land in the $2 billion range. And then we would build like a 20,000 square foot steel building, where inside this steel building we could have 4 to 5 interior haunts. We could have a retail store, you know, concessions, ticket booth, everything operating out of that building. And it'll be butted up against, like, you know, the woods, and some of the haunts will go in the building, come out into the woods, you know, and out or whatever. And then we would have like a hay ride. We would have like a haunted trail, maybe also like a corn maze. It would be a massive screen park that would have, you know, 20, 30 acres of parking. That's the goal. And then to try to ultimately turn that into also a family event where you're open during the day as well. So that's the goal. That's what we're aiming for. This is going to be very expensive. And so it's not something that we can do in 1 year. It would probably be for something that would open in 2026 would be my guess. So that's the goal, that's the plan, that's what we're working towards. And then we got the big expansion plans here at the Darkness, where we're going to try to build in this wedge. And we have a plan for that too. And if you want to know what it is, watch the next video. And hopefully you'll find it very exciting. And so the next video is going to be about TerraVisions for sale, all the details, and the overall plans for Transworld and the Darkness. So there you go. So I think this video is about long enough. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that, you know, and by the way, I want to say, because I've seen some comments where people say, don't talk about politics, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. I just talk about whatever comes to my head. I do these videos. I don't have a script. I don't have a plan. I just turn on a camera. I start talking to you. I am authentically talking to you, sharing my thoughts, sharing my experiences, and just trying to help you wherever I can. It's like almost like a podcast in a way. So anyway, I've come back over here to these. Tell me these are not freaking badass. Which one's your favorite? And who didn't have costumes like this when they were a kid? Man, I would give just about anything to go back and be in a costume like this and go trick-or-treating one more time. Why not? And by the way, since I'm in the gift store, I can tell you, because we talked about it in another video, I have totals on how much business we did in the gift store. And our biggest day for selling stuff, believe it or not, is the Valentine's. And the second biggest day for selling is the Krampus. And the Krampus usually does over 10,000, and the Valentine's will do over 10,000. It's very loyal type of people that come. So with those two events tacked on, we'll go over 100,000. And then when you add in Transworld and you add in halfway to Halloween, because I'll keep the ticketing system going all the way through the halfway Halloween, even though it's already into another year. Why? Because we're selling tickets during the 2024 haunt season. So for us to be able to scan those tickets, we got to keep the 2024 ticketing apparatus going all the way through the halfway to Halloween, and then that's when we'll switch over to a 2025 on Fear Ticket. Does that make sense? Okay, so when the gift store is all said and done, my guess will be somewhere around like $120,000 for the gift store. Not earth-shattering, but pretty good, I would say. Pretty good for a down year where we didn't do a ton of people. So we'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. I will see you in the next one. Remember, the next video is going to be all about the plans for Darkness and what's going to be happening with our haunt tour. Until then, happy Halloween, maybe, or Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, whatever you want to say. Until then, the next video is just around the corner.